Yo, what is up, my friends? Welcome back into the podcast. Yet another episode of Crushing Fantasy Football. I am Bryce Lockridge, your host of the show. Guys, today I'm going to be giving you my bold predictions for the 2022 season. That's right, the 2021 season is finally behind us. The Super Bowl's over, so time to start kind of looking ahead to the 2022 season and look at how we're going to start to construct our rosters and the strategy that we're going to use to dominate fantasy football like we do every single year. And I'm going to get right into it, guys. But real quick, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. And if you do enjoy my content today, make sure to give me a thumbs up, as likes help my channel tremendously. All right, guys, I'm going to start with my first bold prediction, and that is that Javonte Williams is going to be a top 3 running back. Look, Melvin Gordon is a free agent. It looks like the Broncos are trending in the direction of wanting to be Javonte Williams to be their workhorse back. We don't really know what the quarterback situation is in Denver yet. They do have a plethora of passing weapons, but the offense is probably going to run through Javonte Williams. Look, this dude absolutely dominated in the second half of the season. When Melvin Gordon was injured and Javonte Williams was the lead workhorse back, this dude was absolutely dominant. He's the fresh legs. Melvin Gordon is 30 now, so they're probably going to part ways with him in the offseason. Javonte Williams is going to become the main running back for the team, and he's going to be an absolutely dominant fantasy weapon. I see him being a top 3 running back this year. The dude's got all the talent in the world, and he's going to be the lead workhorse back for the offense. So this guy's going to be an absolute steal in the draft. I know that he's going as a top 20 pick if Melvin Gordon does leave the Broncos, but I would consider drafting this dude in the top 10. Next on my list is going to be the Jacoby Myers is going to be a top 15 wide receiver. Look, this dude was 20th in overall target share this past season, but he finished somewhere among 35th among wide receivers as far as overall fantasy points. But look, Mac Jones and this Patriots offense is getting better and better as they progress as an offense. And I think that they're going to have a huge breakout year next season. And they're going to be looking for that number 1 wide receiver to really, give the majority of the targets to, as opposed to just spreading the ball around. And Jacoby Myers, as the season went along, clearly became that guy. He started to have games where he saw double-digit target share, and I think that he's going to see double-digit target share in most games in this coming season. So I think volume plus opportunity plus talent is going to propel him into being a top 15 wide receiver on the season. And he's going to be an absolute steal in this draft, guys, because he's going to go kind of in the later rounds, and you can reach for him and be getting a potential top 15 wide receiver at an absolute steal in the draft. Next on my list is that DeAndre Hopkins is going to have a huge bounce back year this season. Look, guys, DeAndre Hopkins, when he got injured last year, the Cardinals offense went to complete totally fell off the radar. I mean, this Cardinals offense needs DeAndre Hopkins, okay? Christian Kirk is a free agent. Zach Ertz is a free agent, so we don't really know who the other passing weapons are going to be. A.J. Green is old. DeAndre Hopkins is going to have to step up and be the DeAndre Hopkins of old if this Cardinals offense wants a chance to make a deep playoff run. They know this. Kyler Murray knows this. And with that being said, considering the fact that the Cardinals want to win, Kyler Murray wants to win, they're going to make DeAndre Hopkins their target hog once again. And I think that as long as he can stay healthy this next year, we're going to see the old version of DeAndre Hopkins and not what we saw last year as far as the ridiculous lack of targets that we saw last year. He, I think, only had one game where he had over 10 targets. This is absolutely ridiculous. Look for him to return to form in this coming season as far as overall targets. He's still got all the talent in the world and is one of the best wide receivers in the entire NFL. So draft this guy for your fantasy team. He's going to have a big-time bounce-back year. Next on my list is going to be that Michael Pittman Jr. is going to have a awesome draft value no matter who the quarterback of the Colts is. It looks like Carson Wentz probably isn't going to be the quarterback of the Colts this coming year. But with that being said, regardless of who the quarterback is, he is going to have an awesome draft value. If the Colts have a great quarterback playing for them, Michael Pittman Jr. has top 5 wide receiver upside. I mean, this dude has the talent. He's got the size. He's 6'4". He's starting to command double-digit target share in a lot of games. So if the Colts have a great quarterback playing for them next season, Michael Pittman has top 5 wide receiver upside. Even if they don't have a great quarterback, Michael Pittman Jr. still has top 15 wide receiver upside, maybe even top 12 upside, even if they're playing with a mediocre quarterback. And he's going to go way late in drafts if the Colts quarterback situation isn't really figured out going into the season. So Michael Pittman Jr., regardless of who his quarterback is going to be an awesome value in the draft. So you need to consider reaching for him. Next on my list is going to be that Darren Waller is going to be the tight end 1 on the season. That's right, the tight end 1. He was the tight end 6 this last year. The Raiders need passing weapons, obviously. No more Henry Ruggs. They picked up Deshaun Jackson in the middle of the season, but if I'm not mistaken, Deshaun Jackson was only signed for last season, and he's not going to be on the team next year. Even if he is, Deshaun Jackson is super old. They can only use him as an alpha downfield threat, so much. And Hunter Renfrow has become the number one passing weapon on the team when Darren Waller was hurt, and that's obviously not going to do if the Raiders want to win games. So Darren Waller is going to be heavily, heavily targeted this next season as long as he's healthy and on the field. He's going to be treated as a wide receiver, and I don't think there's any reason why he shouldn't finish as the number one tight end in all of fantasy football, considering the insane amount of targets that he's going to get if the Raiders want to win any games. So I think that Darren Waller, as long as he stays healthy and on the field, is going to be the tight end 1. Next on my list is going to be that Justin Fields is going to be a top 5 quarterback. Look, Justin Fields is awesome because he fits the modern day profile of quarterbacks that present a dual threat. He's able to run. He's able to pass. That's kind of what the modern day quarterback needs to dominate in fantasy. And we know that this dude can burn you for 100 yards on the ground. He had his struggles last year, but is getting better and better on a week-to-week basis. And look, the Bears have passing weapons. I mean, Darnell Mooney emerged as an awesome fantasy wide receiver. And on top of that, the Bears are going to load him up with passing weapons in this next draft. Their draft priority is probably going to be to add wide receivers to their roster to help Justin Fields dominate next season. And I think the Bears are actually going to be a much more efficient offense this year, game planning around Justin Fields. And I think that Justin Fields is going to be a top 5 quarterback this year. Next on my list is going to be that Devonta Smith is going to be an awesome late-round steal. He was the wide receiver 39 this year, I believe. But he was 5th in air yards per target. This dude is an awesome big play wide receiver. He did see over 100 targets this past year. So considering the fact that he's probably going to see over 100 targets again because he's probably going to be targeted even more this next year than he was last year. And he's 5th in air yards per target, meaning that they like to throw him the ball downfield. I think that this dude is poised for a huge breakout season. He's going to be way, way underdrafted. He's going to be an awesome late-round steal, and you need to reach for him to add value to your fantasy team. All right, guys, those are some of my bold predictions for the 2022 season. It's never too early to really start looking ahead and, planning how you're going to construct your rosters. So I appreciate you guys tuning into the video today, and I'll catch you later.